Static breaks with a chilling sound, a voice from 6 feet underground. Was it murder? Was it fate? Either way, it's far too late. Welcome to the whispers, welcome to the screams, where nightmares live and silence dreams. From twisted minds to restless souls, we chase the truth through blackened holes. Mysteries of the underworld, where fear takes hold and never lets go.
Live.
What is going on, y'all? Welcome back to Mysteries of the Underworld. I'm Jess,
I'm Nick.
and don't mind my background. This won't be a every podcast thing. It's a one-time deal. So, Nick, it's not Tuesday.
Nope, it's Thursday. Yeah, we are.
So,
So Mysteries of the Underworld have switched to Thursdays instead of Tuesdays.
and they must have thought we forgot about them. We did not. We did not.
So what's been new with you?
Nothing much. Work, home, mom, repeat. Same thing every day, every week. Except for today. I was off today, hence me not being in my uniform.
Yeah, I'm off permanently now. So I quit my job.
What?
I had to. I couldn't work for that man anymore. So that's a story for another time. But
Alright.
I'm glad to be gone.
Good.
Yeah.
Look, if you're not happy in the work environment, find something you love. I love what I do. I love where I work. I love the people, my customers. You know, that makes it worth going to work. If you're not happy, it wasn't meant to be.
I definitely miss the people. Like the people that I worked with, I miss them.
Except that one person.
Yep. But he's the district manager, so I won't see him even if I go to visit. So, thing is now I can shop there now, so that's fun. So, at Goodwill, if you
Oh yeah.
work at
My brother-in-law works at a Goodwill. He can't shop there. So, have you read up anything new on any places or anything?
so I'm actually I don't know if I told you yet, but I'm going to an investigation next month to the haunted Randolph Asylum in Randolph County, Indiana.
Okay.
So I'm looking forward to that. So I just found
Maybe we
my
can.
I'm definitely going to record it and post it. Did you see I posted my post town video to the squad?
No, I haven't been online much.
But I found my cameras. I'm all set. This is what I mostly use, my Sony. It's nice because I could just pop the back and just plug it straight into my computer, not have to worry about
Nice.
uh, SD cards and everything like that.
Nice.
So yeah,
Well, I ain't done much. Cleaned my house and then my kid woke up from a nap. There went all my hard work. All gone. All gone. See, no
what
Kid Cup.
what you drinking? Is that juice?
Baja Blast.
Okay.
Stuff in order to get to my keyboard.
Yeah, I haven't really done much research lately. I've been just taking a break from work and stuff like that. I haven't really been wanting to do anything.
Damn. And where you going?
I am going to Randolph County Infirmary slash Asylum.
From 6 p.m. to 10 a.m.
Yep.
when they do them. Let's see. Wow. And are you going alone?
No, it's I my group's going, so we'll have like 6 or 7 people going with us. It's a pretty big
That's not
place, so
bad.
that'll be fun.
Yeah, it's huge.
Not the yawning again.
Sorry, I ain't had a nap. It's 8 hours and 40 minutes away from me.
The fun part about it is that it's since it's in Indiana, we'll be sleeping there.
And how far of a drive do you have?
Like a 2 hour, 2 or 3 hours, which is nice because I like traveling. So
Man, it'll take me 4 hours to get out of Memphis. It only takes me about 15 minutes, give or take. So, sorry, why can't I go? Why is it taking me that way and not right up to it? Ugh, weird. Sorry. It was storming here this morning, and it woke my son up. Therefore, I had to get up.
Well, we got a bit of rain yesterday.
It was pouring rain this morning. All right. Okay. Do you know what it's known for?
They have a couple stories. Um, One of them is that there was a lady who stayed in the basement, and she unfortunately offed herself.
Off herself.
Yeah. Um,
So the back history, they it was a poor farm. Infirmary and asylum to the people who live there.
yeah, I know they did a little bit of like if you couldn't afford rent or something, then you could stay
Mm-hmm.
there.
Mm-hmm. I forgot where I put it. Sorry, I'm selling some chairs for my Meemaw,
Okay.
and I've had 6 people want them, and now they're bidding.
It's exciting. So the money that are you giving the money that you make from them to your grandmother? That's nice.
Yeah, yeah, I'm just posting them. Money's for her, not me. Yeah, she wanted them gone, and she was gonna throw them out. And I'm like, no, sell them. She's like, how? I'm like, post them, Facebook, and I posted them at 7. It's 8:18 my time. 6 people want them.
So you posted them at 7 p.m. or 7 a.m.?
PM.
Oh wow.
I should have done it a month ago, but we all know I procrastinate. I still haven't given Tanner a tracking number
You should send that to him
for
now
the
while,
camera.
while you remember.
It's in my
Yeah.
car.
So, and it was faint as if it was coming from outside or something. So I get up, I'm like, and it wakes me up because I'm like, who just yelled my name? I go downstairs, nobody said my name. I look in my closet, everything, because you know what happens in there. I went, I
Everything.
I looked out the windows because it kind of sounded like Haley's voice. I was like, okay, 10 p.m. It's possible. So I looked outside where she usually parks. Nothing. I looked at the front window, which is where I heard it from. Nothing. So I'm sitting here like, I'm not drunk. I'm not high. So this happened, but it was enough to wake me up. It was weird.
My son. I had to move my drink. I didn't want to knock it over. Um, he was sick last week, and again, and he was laying on my couch on one end, and I'm on the other. He's sleeping. And he starts laughing. I mean, belly cackling,
Wow.
laughing. And then he stands up. Mommy? And lays back down. And I'm like, you good? Asleep. Eyes open. Sleeping. And he's laughing. And I look at him. You know, this man right here. No man. Right here. And I pull the blanket up. And I'm like, do you want to switch places with me? He's like, nope. I'm like, thanks. And then he starts crying. I'm like, are you okay? And I'm like, poking him, trying to wake him up. And he goes, Mommy? Where are you, Mommy? I'm like, I'm right here. Like, I'm right here, Mimi. I'm right here, honey. He goes, okay. Out. And I'm like, what just happened? Like, he ain't ever done that. Ever. Ever. He doesn't get up or laugh in his sleep. I'm literally in his face. And he's looking at me. Mommy, where are you? Where are you, Mommy? I'm right here. I haven't left. Like, you can see me, right? I'm right here. Creep me out.
That would have creeped me out too.
Yeah. He had been asleep 4 hours. And there he goes. Mommy? 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 I think I have my chair sold. $45.
Nice.
Yeah. Huh. But no more coming alive toys.
Yet. You never know.
No more coming alive.
um, when and if we do go to Pinhurst, like you, my buddy, you, and BB, you never know. You might bring something back with you, or BB might bring something back with you.
I'm never leaving home. I'm never leaving home. Okay? Okay.
He's like, "What the hell are you talking about?" I do,
Yes.
I do think I brought something back with me. That's why I have all this weird shit happening.
You think? I mean, it literally knocked you out.
Yeah.
Literally. It hit you. Man.
Can we just talk a minute? We are on episode 10.
I know.
That's crazy. So yeah, I did make some pasta today, but I have it hidden so nobody makes fun of me for it. Oh, make sure you have the garlic bread because I don't have garlic bread this time. And I know Hammy's gonna give it to me. If you come back with garlic bread, oh, you did okay. You did come back with garlic bread.
Excuse you. And 2 dogs. We had spaghetti the other night. Sit. Careful. Okay.
Still got all your digits.
All of them. All 9. 10.
I was like, hang on a second.
I have 10. I want to throw you off.
Well, it worked.
Someone else interested, I'll let you know if they fall through. Okay. 3 people want them.
Were you doing it on Facebook Marketplace?
Mm-hmm. I love that. I have made a lot of money on there. Selling clothes, shoes, furniture, baby toys. I mean, everything I don't need or use, I put on there. And I sell it. Like, I want to sell a pair of heels. I can't wear them anymore. I mean, they're that tall. I can't run after Remy in those. And I want to sell them. I got them for free. I'm gonna sell them $50. Come get them. They retail for 120.
Okay.
I got them for free. I made profit, and I only wore them twice before I had Remy. I don't have nothing. I ain't got nothing else. Now they think I have food. I ain't got
Haley,
nothing.
Haley told me the other day that I need to get a cat.
A cat?
A cat, yeah. But
Do it.
what I really want is a fox.
Uh-huh.
A fox.
No.
I love a fox.
You have to have permits. Um, and certificates to have them. At least in my area, you do.
Which they're thing. Those are both things I could eventually get if I really wanted to.
If you want a cat, I know a rescue.
Yeah, Tunica.
That's overrun. They need help. And I'll put in a good word if you want one. I heard the door open.
Roro.
And then I heard, Mommy, Mommy. He can get out. We have a baby gate to keep out the dogs. I don't want them in his room, on his bed. I don't want that. In a minute, Remy. He has everything he needs. Toys, milk, jammies, TV, sound machine, everything he needs. Oh my god. 9 people want him. You know if they fall first. To come get them. Go now. Or wait. Come here. No, Max. You haven't seen my German Shepherd. My Belgian Malinois German Shepherd mix. That's my bumpkin. My goodness. I may have someone coming tonight to get them and pay the full amount I want. Come on. I'll help for you. Just come get them. That's all I want. Oh my gosh. If I can get her to come get them tonight, I'll be set. We'll be fine. So, do you have any questions for me?
Actually, yeah. How does the whole tuna paw process work?
The what?
The tunica, the tuna paw,
Oh,
however you say it.
um, you look on the website, Facebook, um, you let them know which one that you want to apply for. You submit an application, and they do a background check. Um, and once they approve it, they'll send them your way. Simple, easy. Let me see. Tunica. Tunica, not with a Y. They have puppies, big dogs, kittens. I don't know if you can see that.
Okay.
Here, hold on. Bam.
They have new members. We can move them. If anyone has a new member role, we can move them. And oh fuck, I'm trying to think on how to do that. We can always set up the.
All right, I sent them to you on Discord to look at them.
Okay.
Man, this lady, 2 people. One's wanting to pay full price. One wants to pay $45, but the $45 one wants to cash at me now and pick up tomorrow. Oh, back to old reliable. Between 2 people. I've never had this. Whoever can get me the money the quickest gets some. Sorry, my eye's burning. I don't have a contact in. How can I take out my own eyeball and clean it? Now my other one. Oh my god. But if I can talk him into selling these, I'll sell the other lady these. And you talk to him. An hour and a half. And I sold them. I should have went 75. Yeah. Went for 50. Sold them 45. Not bad. I mean, she's had these as long as I can remember. And I'm 28. Wave, honey. Rude. Rude. Where are they at? I just messaged Hammy Games, seeing if he wants to join in. Come on, Hammy. Come on, Hammy. Come on, Hammy.
Yeah, Bill, they're trying to get you to join the project.
You too. Nick has Arizona iced tea. Stupid dogs. Can y'all hear Nick still? Yeah, they can't hear you.
Hello.
Can y'all hear him now? Oh my god. Another one.
Let's look at the chat real quick.
Huh. Ayo, Nikki Poo.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get Hammy Games in, but he ain't responding to me. About ready to go get him. Waiting on old Hammy Games. He ain't responding to me. Why? Aunt? Yeah, he can. Yeah, he can. He can message you and come on my show. It's the only one he ain't been on. It's the only one he ain't been on. No. No, Hunter, I'm not talking to myself. I'm talking to him. Fine. See what old Wolfie's doing. Well, since Hammy Games ain't coming, let's see if maybe old Timmy will come on.
Yeah, hop on in, Timmy.
Come on, Tim Tim. Come on, Tim Tim. What am I doing? I have his phone number. I see him in the chat. He better answer the phone. Hello. Oh, you're welcome. Nothing. Why don't you come on the show? We'll bring the kid on too. I'll go get Remy. Ew. Ow. Well, we're live now. No. How long have we been going? 47 minutes?
Yeah, around there.
Yeah. It's okay. Yeah, it's fine. Let me know. Love you. Alright, so he can't.
What's
Sick wife,
Oh,
needy kid, and farm chores. I get it.
what's old Stevie doing?
In there with them.
Oh.
And Tater.
I think he's still in this Discord.
I should send a message in their chat. Anyone want to join Mysteries? But all of our guests are in there with him.
Yeah, just go and unplug his computer.
No. Remy turned it off one time with him playing it. I've never seen that man so mad. He was so mad. I mean, Remy went and flip everything cut off. And he was so mad. Poor Remy came in the living room. I mean, running and screaming. Mommy, 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 mommy. All I hear is, flip, son of a. And then here come Remy. Like, I didn't do it. In Remy's defense, well, we might be having someone come in here in a minute. But anyway, I've never seen my kid run out of fear and run so fast. But the computer, the back of it, was right here. I told him not to put it there. That would happen. And it happened. When Remy turned off your computer. But no, we'll have someone come and join us here in just a minute.
Who we got coming in?
You'll see.
Oh, okay.
And no, not Hammy. Or BB. Oh. We have 2 people that are coming in. One's coming in now.
Hey,
What up,
what's up, Tim?
Hey guys, how's it going?
It's a going.
We're gonna try to do this new thing where I do a mobile join into a Discord call. We're heading over to the other property to do chicken chores, aren't we, love? Chicken chores, chicken chores. So how's the show going?
It's a going.
It's a going, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, write this down. Hey, yeah. We're gonna get a lot of commentary for my little.
Oh, that's fine. If I had Remy in here, he'd be going, hum nim 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 nim.
Oh goodness.
Adult words, and then Remy has gotten to the point to where he'll go, no. And I'm like, what? I told him to clean up his toys. You know, his monster jam, and he'll go, no. Boy? He'll go, no, mommy. I play. With 45 of them at one time? You only have 2 arms. How is that possible? You want to see how many he has? Hold on. Bear back. Again. And I'm not coming back with bread.
How you been, Tim?
Okay. My phone got bugged out. I'm stuck in no service mode. Come on, little lady. But I should be back now.
Yeah, you sound good.
It's so many.
Come on. Hi, buddy. Hi. Come on, little lady.
Not including the ones he has with him now in his room.
No.
Ones under the couch.
Ooh. All right, I gotta shut the door. I gotta get them.
Timmy, you're bugging out.
Yep. Any better?
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds good.
Okay. It might bug out again. I'm at 1 bar. I'll just leave the phone right there. It should be fine. We gotta shut the doors. Are they all in there? Are all the chickens home?
How many do
Looks
y'all
like
have?
it. Let me do a quick count for you. Let me get the door shut. Hey, little lady, come on. Are you gonna stay out there? So we have 6 ducks, 6 guineas, and then we have
Fried guinea
10,
is so good.
maybe 20.
Are they all?
Guys are gonna be.
Are they all laying?
Protect helper. Yeah, tick be gone. Not
You're bugging out.
just for fun. Beginnings are for. What's the last thing you heard?
That. Still buggy.
Oh my god.
Nope, we heard that.
Alright, so we got the chickens are layers, the ducks are for fun, guineas are for chicks. We don't need to go over there, it's all shut. Come on.
So, my mom has 4 ducks. And she's hoping that they'll start laying soon. But no,
You guys
well,
gonna eat them? Eat the eggs?
well, yeah. I hope so. I wanted a cow. And they got ducks. I still want a cow.
Cows are expensive.
So are horses.
Cows are expensive.
And we have 2 of them.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they're too expensive. Cattle prices jumped up.
I mean, I can do all the farrier work. What?
Go do chicken chores, love. Come on.
Chicken chores.
She is abandoning me at the barn. Ariella, Nana's not home. Give me 2 seconds.
Okay. Have fun. You better run. I know how fast they are. Mine. Yeah, Polly. A robot joined. So, when Remy was... We didn't know he could pull out, like, you know, he could put stuff in it. He pulled out a fork, a spoon, a butter knife, and my headphones. Had no idea they were in there. He was like a year old. Didn't know. Freaked us out.
That's nuts, bro.
We got rid of that. When the knife came out, threw it away.
Yeah?
I mean, it was a plastic butter knife. I don't know where I got it.
Yeah.
We didn't have any.
Yeah? Yui? Or, well, probably because it's wet. Go out. Go. Oh. Alright, I'm almost done finishing up in here. Not service.
Well, Tater will be in here soon.
Come on, turn around. Go. Who?
And Tater. And he has
Ooh, Tater's coming?
questions
Come on,
for
lady.
Nick.
Uh-oh.
She stepped it up a bit. You know, her side of her foot. She says, "All right, let's go." Come on. Good night, ladies.
Aw, that was cute.
Oh, yeah. Buttermilk. It gives some good egg. Here, can you wipe your hands off? Ari, wipe them off. Clean them off. Oh, goodness. All right. Much work. Do a robot voice down, and then I'm done here.
Alright, how do I mark this as pending?
No idea. Ari, come on.
Oh. Pending. If I get money in my cash app in the next 10 minutes, it'll be good. Nick, you good?
Yeah, I'm eating real quick and I didn't want to do it on camera.
Oh, yeah.
Where's the spaghetti?
Actually, it's funny that you say that.
Go ahead, turn it on.
I don't have any garlic bread though.
The spaghetti. Nana's not home. Come on, let's go home. No garlic bread again? Didn't you learn the last time? How many times we gotta teach you this, old man?
You said it, Nick.
Yep.
They were going to say that.
Yep.
And the Parmesan.
I can't look.
My favorite.
Nice. I thought about just making Aftermath a spaghetti eating show. Just to see what BB would do. Come on this side, love. Come here. We can't get in that way. Okay. Now on our way home. We go home. Get off the blankie.
They sold.
Okay. They sold? What'd you just sell?
Chairs.
There you go. You're just gonna blare the AC? That mess with stuff. Over here changing all my climate control dials.
Alright, she sent me $1. Now I need 44 more.
Well, you only said $1, right? Only let me pull out $1. I don't know what's happening.
Well, if she'll send me 44 more, I'll send her the address. Waiting on the rest. Waiting on Tater.
Yeah, take
No, Remy, go lay down. Pwee, pwee, pwee. He's going. Pwee, pwee, pwee. Pwee, mommy. Go lay down, Remy.
He wants to stay up.
No. Mommy be there in a minute, honey. Tall ass leprechaun. Just made some garlic toast. Just for that reason.
Technically, I could make
All
my
right.
own garlic bread, mixing it with some garlic powder with butter and spreading it on there.
Yeah.
But
And toasting it
I'm too lazy
in the
for that.
oven.
There you go. Oh yeah. You ready? Come on. Oh.
Mosquito.
Can you go inside and take your shoes off?
Uh-oh.
Come on.
Paper shots must be just done.
You ready to sweat, Nick?
Oh no.
What
You know, I
Because I'm about to make you sweat. I'm about to make you sweat, brother.
happened?
Go ahead, Tanner.
I got some questions, and there's some I found, and they progressively, from what I see, get more difficult to answer. So we're going to start with number one, and we'll go from there. But the first question is, how do you prepare for going ghost hunting?
Okay, so first you got to make sure that you have all your equipment charged up. You got your batteries, replacement batteries. You need to make sure that you're in a good mindset, right? Otherwise, the demonic spirits, if there are any, will take advantage of your negative energy. And then you got to make sure that your team is ready. If you have one person in the group that's not in a good mindset, sometimes the apparitions, ghosts will take advantage of them. And you'll find that a lot when someone goes in with a bad mindset and they're nervous. They'll take advantage of you being nervous, and they'll exploit that against you. So you got to make sure your stuff is charged up, be in a good mindset, bring extra batteries, bring extra flashlights, because you don't want to be stuck in the dark somewhere.
Yeah, no.
And you always want to go with one more other person.
Okay. All right. That's good good information to have. So question number two is, what equipment is essential for ghost hunting?
You need to, if you're planning on filming, you need to make sure that you have your camera, replacement batteries for that camera, your EMF meter, a REM pod, which detects electromagnetic frequencies that the spirits are manipulating that device and lets you know, hey, there's something there. You need, it's a weird one, but you need a good pair of shoes, because are uncomfortable, because you're going to be on your feet a lot, walking a lot back and forth. Make sure you're dressed weather appropriately, because if you're in New York at an asylum and it's -2 and you're in khaki shorts and a t-shirt, you're gonna be suffering. Let's think.
All right. Pretty cool. So you were talking about essential ghost hunting, and I'm gonna kind of add another question in here. So equipment.
Deep boy.
I'm
Deep
going
boy
from
said.
10 to 11 questions now. So talking about equipment. Um. So equipment, I guess, boils down to personal preference.
Of course.
If you're going ghost hunting and you don't have the equipment that you talked about, everybody's got a good pair of shoes. Um, some people may not have the EMF detectors or the EVPs or anything like that. If you're not set up in that regard, I mean, what is other things that you would say? Hey, if you don't have all the high tech equipment and you're just going, you know, you're just going in, I guess, base equipment. You know, the cheap. You're going to try to do it as cheap as possible. What would be the best way to do that? I mean, for me, I work for a school system. I only get paid 10 months out of the year. So if I want to go ghost hunting, I don't. There's 2 months out of the year I don't have a lot of money to spend on equipment. So for somebody like me, buying all this stuff, working for the school system and having 4 kids and all that may not really be feasible. So if I wanted to go tomorrow and go ghost hunting, and all I got's a good pair of shoes, what would you tell somebody like me?
So, if you only had a pair of good shoes, right? You still have your ears. You can still listen. You still have all of your senses, right? You can see things, hear things. Some demonic
Pooping.
spirits give off a sulfuric smell, so you can smell things. So, just because you don't have all that fancy tech, doesn't mean you're not going to catch anything. I know a couple investigators who don't use any tech, who just go in there and they just listen. And sometimes they'll get more evidence just by listening and seeing and smelling and hearing than sitting in a corner watching devices all day. So saying like not having any tech doesn't mean you're not going to get anything. You're still going to get a good amount of stuff, because some apparitions, if you feel a cold breeze, that could be them walking past you or something like that. There's also still the possibility of them interacting with you by touching you, stuff like that. So hearing, seeing, smelling, those are natural tools that you have to your disposal.
All right. So you kind of touched on it just then. What are some signs that would lead a person to believe that there's paranormal activity? And you just touched on some of them: sounds, smells, what you see. But what are some signs that you look for when you go into a new place as far as paranormal activity? What are you looking for?
So me personally, if I'm looking for demonic activity, I look for flies, insects, stuff like that. Because in some cases, like at the Amityville horror house, in one room, the most haunted room in the house, there's flies everywhere. So those are almost always a clear sign that there's something going on there. Because especially, you're not going to see flies in the dead of winter. So when you see those flies in the dead of winter, that kind of signifies, hey, there's something weird going on here. Let's see if I can figure this out. And then going in and honestly just like, you don't need a temperature gauge to tell difference in temperature. You can obviously, if if you're outside and it's 80 degrees and you go inside a room in the hospital or wherever you're in, and it feels ice cold, that's enough of a signification that okay, there might be something there, that might do me some harm or might just want to, chat. So
All right, so this next one I think is a question a lot of people have, and it's one that I kind of have myself because I believe in paranormal activity, but then again I'm kind of skeptical about it. I'm on the fence, kind of like Humpty Dumpty. I don't know which way to fall yet. But how do you differentiate between genuine paranormal activity and an occurrence that can be naturally explained?
So, for example, if you see like a door swing closed, right? One of the first things you'll want to do is you'll want to check for open windows, make sure see if there's a breeze coming through that could have possibly closed or opened that door. And if there are none like that, right? There's no fans, no windows open, nothing like that. Then you kind of get to thinking, hey, there's really no way else to explain this other than to assume that it's paranormal activity. Because doors don't just open and close by themselves, unless it's one of those fancy doors that are built that way. And then you see sometimes that, like, you might see instances where you'll see a video where a book flies off of a shelf. In most cases, there's not really much that's going to be able to throw a book off of a shelf that's natural. So in that case, you kind of have to assume, obviously you'll do your debunking, make sure that there's nothing wrong with like whatever the bookshelf it's on or something like that. So it just depends. Hold on, my phone's ringing. Put that on silent. Just depends on the situation you're in. Debunking, right? Debunking is a big thing for paranormal investigators. We all look for instances, like for example, I was at the Randolph Infirmary maybe a year or two ago, and I saw a door close. So the first thing I did was I went in there and I looked for open windows. There was no power in the building, so I didn't have to worry about a fan or something. So that's usually, there were some things that are really hard to explain, right? Like,
I will be right back.
okay, like a chair flipping over is really hard to explain, right? Because no amount of wind is going inside at least, is going to be able to pick up that wooden chair and throw it halfway across the room. Hang on. So it really just depends.
Okay.
Hang on.
Hey, great answer for that one. I was not expecting that much elaboration on that particular question. So you spoke on that, and I have I'm going off of the 10 questions, which I'm adding more to it, but I have dogs that stay in the house. What are your thoughts about animals being able to detect paranormal? Do you believe that a dog or cat or a household animal can detect paranormal activity? I mean, my dogs, there can be nothing outside, no noise, nothing. and my dogs will be in the living room and start barking at the kitchen. To me, they're just, they're just barking, and I'm telling them to shut up. But do you believe that dogs or cats or a household animal is able to see that paranormal activity or see something we can't see?
So, the thing about dogs and cats is that their eyes are different than ours. So, they have a different perspective on the world that they live in. So, you'll see the same thing in babies, right? When they're first born, right? Even at 1 year old, 2 year old, their eyes aren't fully developed. So, you'll see, like, especially, you've probably seen a couple videos like this where the kid is staring up at something, laughing, and talking to nobody. So with that, it's tricky because we can't see what they're seeing. They're staring off at something. We don't know what they're staring at. So if I see that, one thing I like to do is I like to go where they're staring, and I like to feel the temperature of that area, right? Usually if there's something there, it'll be ice cold. And you'll be able to tell that it's ice cold. Because naturally no one's going to have their house set that cold. So they definitely see stuff that we can't see. Their eyes are more... I like to think that their eyes are better than ours, right? Because they can see stuff that we can't. And especially if you see an animal barking into a dark room, right? It kind of gets you thinking, like, okay, what are you barking at? There's nothing to be barking at. So what is the explanation for that? So like I said before, go into that room if it feels cold or something. That's most of the time that's a clear indication that, okay, there might be something here that's not human that they can see but I can't see. So
Okay. All right. So there's a question I'm not going to ask because we kind of all know the answer to it. But the question was, are there specific locations that are more likely to be haunted? We all know that any place with a history of tragedy, trauma, emotional trauma or intensity are more likely to be haunted than your normal area. So, that's kind of a given, in that question of, are there specific locations that are more likely to be haunted than others? Like, Alcatraz is more likely to be haunted than my house.
right.
We know that. So I'm going to skip down. How do you protect yourself from negative energies or spirits while ghost hunting?
So like I said in a previous question, being in a good mindset definitely helps. Because if you don't let anything affect you, right, mentally, then you're good on that aspect. There's other things you can do, like if you're Christian or Catholic, you can wear a cross as protection. Say a prayer before going in. Saying a prayer before going out. When you're leaving a place, say something like, "Hey, please don't follow us. You're not allowed to follow me home. You have to stay here. This is where you belong." And another thing that some people do is they wear protection crystals around their neck. And there have been some instances that I've seen where someone goes into an extremely haunted place like Pinhurst Asylum or even Alcatraz, and upon entering the room, their crystal shatters. Which is basically that entity or demonic spirit attacking that crystal to take away your protection. Another thing you can do is, if you're religious, Catholic or Christian, you could say, "Hey, I'm here. I'm under the protection of Jesus Christ. you can't hurt me. Stuff like that. Um,
Sorry, I saw that in my camera. I didn't know what that was. That's my dog's feet and legs. It just slowly came into my camera.
Oh, Jess, I know me and you talked about this earlier. Sorry to get off topic, Nick. I know me and you talked about this off air, and I'm gonna say this, but Ivermectin fixed the problem.
Good.
She is the spots on her back have completely healed, and she is
Good.
actually starting to regrow hair.
Good. I love that.
So she is back to her normal self. She's an aggravating ass, me alone, and
Naturally.
I'm about to kick her ass back outside. Because apparently she's figured out that being in the house is a lot more fun than being outside, so now she doesn't want to go outside.
She's a now permanent house wolf.
She has turned into that, and me and my wife have decided that
It's time.
yeah, she's annoying,
She'll calm down.
but I'm glad she's doing better. She's not in pain anymore, and she is she's starting to go back outside. I think the sun and the heat, considering it has been, I think the lowest temperature we've had here in the last week has been about 95. I think that does have some sort of pain effect on her as far as being out in the sun, and she just still does have a couple open wounds, but they're real small. But I think the heat and the sun bearing down on them does have some sort of pain effect on her. But she is doing 100 times better than a month ago.
I like that. Now, I want to go back to commenting on, can animals see spirits? I have witnessed it. My cat, growing up, would walk by. We were all in the living room, and we had a hallway, and, you know, all the rooms. My cat walks by the hallway and immediately fluffs up and starts hissing at the hallway. And stood there for a solid 4 or 5 minutes. And then another one, we were at my old place when we moved from the other place. Anyway, she did the same thing, but in my room, looking at a wall, a blank wall. Did the same thing. And then my son talks to my papa almost every night. He's in the glider, Remy's in his room, and the glider will rock. And Remy's talking to it. And then when I say something, it stops. And then when I walk away and look on the camera, it'll start going again. Yeah. It's
one thing you can do with if your animal is hissing at something, take a few pictures. See if you get any, like, orbs or something. Shadows, stuff like that.
I've done that in Remy's room. And I got orbs in the glider. And one time, they were on his bed, and an indentation was on the blanket.
So my next question is gonna, if there's any paranormal people watching, and this includes Nick, it's probably gonna cause some controversy because this is one that I think is gonna cause that. So what role do mediums or psychics play in ghost hunting? Now, we all know medium or psychics can act kind of as a conduit for spiritual communication. We've all seen it. And they can provide some insight into, kind of the history, the emotions of whatever's present. Now, whether or not you believe in that or what have you is a different thing. But Nick, what role, and if you even believe in it, do mediums or psychics play in ghost hunting?
So, I can probably answer better for medians. So, sometimes what a median will do is they can see the apparition and be able to give detail, right? This is the color hair they have, this is what they look like, this is what color eyes they have, this is what they're doing right now. And some interesting facts about it is sometimes from videos I've seen, a median will go into a place, right? And they're really good at feeling energy of the place. Same with psychics. They're really good at feeling energy of the place. But a median will be able to go and be like, hey, this person has blonde hair, blue eyes, short build, skinny, muscly, and you might have someone come over here and be like, holy crap, that's my brother. So I've never had a median in one of my investigations. It's something that I would like to reach out to a median and be like, hey, would you be willing to come over here and help us out with this investigation? It's a tricky question because I don't know a lot about them. It's not really something that I've really studied. But I'm seeing a lot more paranormal investigators bring medians with them. Because they really help in identifying somebody or just giving a general description of who they're talking to.
So you would be open to having a medium or a psychic join you on a ghost hunting, I guess, adventure? Correct me if I'm wrong on that statement. But you would be open to having a medium or a psychic join you in one of your ghost hunting adventures just to see what they had to offer.
Yeah, I think it would be
Fun fact, there's one about 45 minutes away from me. Medium. So Nick, if you ever come down this way, they have one.
Yeah, it's something to answer your question, Tater. It's something that I would like to do at some point. I think that would be interesting. Just to kind of understand, hey, this is who I'm talking to. This is what they look like. It really helps with the connection that you're building with that individual or spirit or entity, and helps you kind of understand what kind of person they are, stuff like that. That way you can build that connection deeper, and that way if you go back, you can still have that connection and be able to talk to them again and stuff like that.
Okay. All right. So my next question is, can you communicate with spirits while ghost hunting? And if so, how? Now, we all know from watching TV and watching the guys on TV, the communication attempts often involve asking questions and recording them using different tools to record those questions and the answers you get. But in your experience and with what you've done, can you communicate with the spirits that are in said room or said building?
Um,
And if so, how?
so it really depends on if they want to talk to you, right? Now, some things you can do is say, "Hey, I have this device here, right? There's these cat toys that we like using, the little cat balls that light up."
Cat balls. We all know about the cat balls.
But what you can do with those is you can set them somewhere on a flat surface and say, "Hey, if you're here with me, can you please light this up?" And if they want to talk to you, sometimes what they'll do is they'll light it up, and that lets you know, "Hey, okay, so they're here, they want to talk to me. Let's bring out the ghost box or the spirit talker and have a conversation, see what we can get." Spirit talkers are nice because instead of having all that static, you'll have actual answers, right? Like you might say, "What are you eating? Jello?"
Yes,
Oh, okay.
with fruit.
Okay.
It's peaches.
Nick asked the question I was thinking. So, as you were, Nick, go ahead.
But yeah, spirit talkers are nice because
Ignore me.
instead of all the static that they have, you can actually get an app on on your phone. And it's risky because if they take advantage of your phone, they could fry your phone and you don't have a phone. But I have an app on my burner phone. I call it my ghost phone. I use it for all my apps and gizmos and gadgets. But they can they can speak sentences like, "Hey," and sometimes what they say isn't always clear, right? There was one video I watched where the guy asked, "Hey, is there a weapon in this house I need to be worried about?" And the spirit talker said, "Gun, blue room, hole, wall." So the guy I was watching, CJ, went in. He went into the blue room, poked around a bit, found a hole in a wall, looked down, and there was a gun on the wall. So it's instances like that where it kind of makes you believe a bit, right? Because what are the chances that they just happen to randomly say a couple words and that actually happened? Another thing you can do is sometimes you can actually hear them talking to you, whether it's a whisper or an EVP. But sometimes what you can do is you can say, "Hey," you can knock, and you'll say, "Hey, can you knock back like I just did?" And if they want to talk to you, they'll knock back like you just did. So if you want to talk to a spirit, they have to want to talk to you first.
All right. That makes sense. So we all know, everybody knows, out there in Tube Land and all over the world, that you see these shows on TV for ghost hunting. And they kind of portray it as if the normal everyday person could go out and do these investigations with no training whatsoever, and without any respect for the the spirits or ghosts that are in that particular area. But correct me if I'm wrong, Nick, but paranormal activity, when you're ghost hunting like that, can often be quiet. It requires a lot of patience.
Yes.
It's
Phoebe has
kind of
done.
it's kind of like fishing or deer hunting. You really go in the spot, you sit and you wait. So in your mind, what are some common misconceptions about ghost hunting that people often have? I mean, I'm sure I have my own, but what are some common misconceptions that you see people have?
So, a lot of unbelievers, one misconception they'll have is that it's all fake and it's all scripted.
It is not.
You really have to go to the place and see for yourself. Um, because how are you gonna go and say, "Hey, that's all fake," without ever experiencing it and going and doing it yourself? Um, another thing is, most people think that if you're rude and belligerent to the spirit, nothing bad's gonna happen to you. That is false. Um, if you were rude to somebody in real life, they wouldn't like it. Same goes for talking to the dead. They're not gonna like it. Um, so it's frustrating when I go on an investigation with a guy, and he goes and he just tries to be rude and belligerent just to make something happen. And that actually happened to me. I went with my buddy, and he thought he would go ahead and start calling the spirit names and making fun of him, saying, "Oh, you can't do this, you can't do that, you're weak, yada yada yada." um,
He got a rude awakening, didn't
That's when the ghost throws a plate at your head, and yeah, you have to duck and miss it.
he
The thing is, they couldn't see it coming.
so
All right, Jess. All right, enough. All right.
So during that investigation, him and I went our separate ways. I went this side of the building, he went that side of the building. We had our walkies with us so we could keep constant contact, just in case anything happened. And I start hearing screaming down the end of the hall. So I run over there, right, just to make sure he's okay. And he's on the floor. And I'm like, "Okay, what happened?" And he's like, "Man, I think I got pushed." And I was like, "Well, you were very rude to the entity." And he's like, "Yeah, I get that now." He's like, "That's never something I'm gonna do again." But it's frustrating when you see people abusing their language and being rude to something that you have no idea what it's going to do back to you. On the offset that you manage to do that to a demon, a demonic entity, you're screwed. Because they usually have a little bit more power than the normal, everyday ghost or entity. So that's when you get really hurt.
All right. So I don't feel like I've made you sweat yet, Nick. I kind of feel like these questions have been a little easy that I've been asking, and that's not something I would expect from somebody wearing a Patriots hat.
Okay, buddy.
I would expect somebody wearing a Patriots hat to have issues answering these questions. I mean, you believe in ghosts, but do you believe in the ghost of Tom Brady that'll never return? I mean, it's kind of the same thing. That'll never happen. Anyway,
You never know.
so that'll never happen. Don't hold your breath, because you'll look like Papa Smurf if you hold your breath. You'll turn blue. So we all know that in any investigation, evidence is key.
Yes.
That the evidence is what you lay out to make people believe. And evidence analysis involves, reviewing audio, um, visual pictures, whatever you have for, whatever you're looking for. So, you compare data. I don't know if you compare data with other ghost hunters that you may have in your community, but how do you analyze the evidence collected during a ghost hunt?
So, one thing you can do is after the investigation, whether you're home or in a hotel room after the investigation, one thing you can really do is you can sit down, listen to your audio, watch the entirety of your footage, and just pay close attention. Because when you go back to edit, you can type in little commentary like, "Hey, pay attention here. You'll see something move in this part of the screen." Um, Another thing you can do is, in order to have that evidence, though, you have to record. If you go and say, "I didn't record it, but I saw Bigfoot," okay,
Then it didn't happen.
no one's gonna believe you. Um, so recording is a big thing. Um, Even the ones that don't use a lot of equipment, they always have a camera with them. Um, just so they can have that backup. Say, "Hey, yeah, this actually happened. It was at 29 minutes and 36 seconds. This is when it happened." And a lot of cool things is sometimes your viewers catch things that you didn't. So it's always nice when you're doing your video, say, "Hey, if you see anything, post down in the comments, time stamp it, let me know what you saw." And a lot of them, they'll do that, and you can go back at that footage and you can look at it, look at the timestamp, and you can pay attention to yourself and actually look and see what they're talking about. So listening to your audio, watching your recordings, is a big step, because if you just go and upload it right away, even the guys who do the uncut videos where there's no cuts or anything like that, even they still go and look back on their footage. And they might even do it again after they upload the video, just to see if they missed anything.
No.
So those are two things that I usually do when I personally investigate a place. Now, I posted in the squad channel, I posted one of my videos where I went to Post Town. It was very interesting. I suggest that you go check it out. It was a lot of fun.
So what I'm gathering through these 10 questions that you have answered, actually, it's been more than 10 because I veered off and asked questions of my own. But what I'm getting is preparation, observation, and I guess you could say being respectful in the area you're in means that ghost hunting enthusiasts and those that are skeptical about, ghost hunting alike can kind of, I guess, navigate that fascinating world between the living and, I hate to say dead because that sounds...
In the unliving.
It sounds horrible, but those that believe and those that are skeptical can kind of navigate that in-between area of the ghost hunting side. I mean, you kind of... It's kind of one of those things where you either believe or you don't. And with me personally, I'm kind of on that fence to where I've had those times to where I'm like, holy shit, you know, there's a ghost in the room. But then again, I've had those times to where I'm like, is this really real? You know, according to my religion. Um, so how do you differentiate between, you know, I've seen this, I know it's happened, but my religion tells me this. I, I mean, as a ghost hunter, how do you differentiate between those two? Because I don't know you I don't know you personally, Nick. I know you from talking to you on here and talking to you on Discord, but how do you differentiate between those two? I mean, because depending on your religion, I mean, it can have conflicting stories as to what what you should believe.
Um, so even in religion, everybody has their own thought process and their own mind. Um, so it's really up to the person what they believe and what they don't believe. Um, some investigators I see will fact check things that they saw with religion, um, and stuff like that. Um, I'm Catholic, but I don't really like it and stuff like that, so I don't really have that problem. Um, so they usually it's a tricky question. It really depends on the mindset of the person who's investigating. If they're religious or if they're not religious, if they are strong in their religion, if they're not strong in their religion. Um, Someone who's really strong in their religion will believe, oh, once they die, they go to heaven or hell. But sometimes in that process, they get stuck. The entity gets stuck in the world and they can't go anywhere. And sometimes, as a paranormal investigator, it's your job to kind of help them move along the process and see if you can help them move on. Because sometimes there might be something holding them back, right? Like if a guy got murdered, right? He might stick around as an entity to kind of figure out why and see if he can get vengeance or something like that. It depends. It really depends on the spirit or the person that died.
Um, Me being one that looks at it from both sides, I, I think I've told it. I think it was on this podcast that I told it about my granddaddy after he died. I believe that you can have those experiences afterwards, but I also believe in what I get told as far as what the good book reads. It's kind of, to me, it's a balancing act between the two. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that there's no such thing as a ghost. But I'm not gonna sit here and tell you there are. Um, that's just my opinion. That's my outlook on the whole thing. Like I said, I've had experiences in the past, and y'all have heard it, of a random television that got cut on after I know it had been cut off. Um, so, Jess,
Yes.
going to you,
Yes.
what is your thought process on the questions that have been asked? Where do you stand on this topic?
I mean, I believe. I mean, my religion has nothing to do with what I do and don't believe in. I did not believe in it until it happened to me. I mean, I'm a Christian. I mean, I believe in what I believe, and no one can tell me different. If other people don't believe, that's their problem, not mine.
So, and
Because I know what
I told Jess before I joined the podcast that I was going to come in and make Nick sweat, which apparently didn't happen because he kind of answered everything great. I couldn't ask for any better than what I got.
Mm-hmm.
But me speaking in a religious term, and obviously, Jess, you're kind of putting it in that aspect of religion. Is there any point in time to where your religious beliefs has told you, okay, maybe this is something else in something you've seen, or you talked about it earlier with your son and your dogs. Has there ever been that thought in the back of your mind that, hey, my religion tells me this is something else?
No, because
but my obviously you're watching your son and your dog interact with something that you can't see.
Yeah, no, I mean, my religion has nothing to do with what I know, what I've seen. I mean, it really doesn't factor. I mean, I know ghosts, they can be here. I've seen it. I felt it. The toys. My son, my cat. I mean, growing up, I've known. I've seen it. I saw it when I was real small and all the way to being an adult. I mean, my religion really never played a factor in it because I seen it. I witnessed it.
So, Nick, you talked earlier about. I feel like I'm taking over the show, and I don't mean to.
Someone just knocked on my door.
But,
back.
What?
But uh-oh. I have to wait till he gets back to ask my question. But yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of on that fence there of to whether or not,
So,
is it real or is it not?
You've witnessed it. It happened. It shouldn't matter what your religion is. I mean, you've seen it. Literally. I mean, it happened.
Correct.
What was your question, Tater, before I was interrupted?
Bam. Just like that, it left me. So all three of us here have experienced some sort of paranormal activity in some sort of way or some fashion, whatever you want to call it. So my question to both of you, and Nick, this is more directed at you because you are the ghost hunter of, the podcast. So if somebody in Tubland or wherever experiences some sort of paranormal activity, whether it be, I I guess what you call a good ghost or a demonic. Um, what what would be your advice to somebody experiencing either one of the two to maybe help that particular spirit, I guess, cross over in a way? Um, I don't know if that's possible, but what would be your advice to that person experiencing either side of that, and how to help them alleviate the problem if it is a problem?
So it really depends on the paranormal entity at question. Um, if it's a demonic presence, it's gonna be really hard getting rid of it. Sometimes people will call on a priest and they'll bless the home or the building or whatever they're in. Um, I've seen instances where the priest was attacked uh, during the blessing. Um, and then if it's a normal entity that just had the bad luck of not being able to cross over, it's really up to them on the entity itself. I mean, whether or not they cross over or not. There's not really much you can do. It's not like you can go up to heaven, reach down, and grab them up. Um, so it's really up to them. Um, and if they even want to cross over, that's the big factor there. If they're happy being a part of the world still, they're not going to want to cross over. Um, um, and what some entities will do is, especially if it's a family member, right? Like, for example, uh, Remy's grandfather, right?
Great grandfather.
Great grandfather. They'll like to stay back, and if they didn't get to meet the individual in their time, sometimes what they'll do is stick around so they can be with them for a little bit and watch over that individual. Especially family.
So,
He had
so
met
you, so you saying that it brings a question. So y'all have heard the story about my grandfather turning on the TV.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So after that experience, I haven't really seen or experienced anything after that. My daughter being born would have been his first great granddaughter. There would have been there was nothing that led me to believe that she believed that his spirit or his ghost is still here.
He definitely could still be there. He also definitely could have finally crossed over. Um, it really depends on.
And keep in mind, this was 20 years ago. 15 to 20 years ago.
It really depends on what mindset your grandfather was in, right? If he wanted to cross over, if he doesn't want to cross over.
I mean, I can tell you what mindset he was in before he died. And that was, whenever the Lord takes me, the Lord takes me. That was his mindset. I mean, he was happy with his life. He felt he felt like he had done what he needed to do, and he was one of those that when it's my time, it's my time. So I don't know if that one little moment was him saying, "Hey, I'm here, but I'm here and I'll see you again someday," or if it was just, a one-off kind of, "Hey, I'm still here" type
Don't
deal.
watch TV.
It's so with his, if that was like you said, that was his mindset. then with that mindset that he had, it's very likely that he did cross over. If you haven't noticed anything or sensed anything weird going on, it's also possible that him turning on that TV was just his way of saying his final farewell and just making sure everything was okay at the house before he went ahead and decided to move on.
So, my papa, Remy was 5 months old when he died.
I'll be back.
Okay.
My papa had onset dementia. He sometimes didn't know who I was. He knew Remy was my baby, but he thought I was my mom. A lot. And he didn't know Remy's name. He would say, "That boy. Bring me the boy." And Remy, you can hold up our last family photo and he'll point at him and go, "Papa. That's Papa." Or walk up to the picture of him and go, "Papa." Remy knows him. I hope my papa found peace. But I think he's still here and going from home to home. Him, my Mima, and Remy, the last photo I took of them, and it's on my background. Can you see it? My Mima, Remy, and my papa. And Remy will walk up and go, "Papa, Mima, Remy." He knows who he is. And that.
I mean,
And
my
that's
daughter,
the thing.
my daughter, at 10 years old. She's 10 now. She'll be 11 come next February. But she knows Papa. That's what I called him. She knows who Papa is. She knows who he is. She's seen pictures. And she knows him just by the way I talk about him. And do I wish she was here to, meet her, see her in person? 100%. I wish she was still here for all four of my kids, because they would learn a level of respect that doesn't get taught anymore. In most, and I'm not going to say in all households, I'm going to say in most households. Because I know there are people in this Discord and people watching on YouTube that know what I'm talking about. Jess, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. Nick, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. Kids these days don't have the respect that was taught back then. And it's something that I got on to my middle one the other day about. She was talking to her boyfriend's grandpa, and she looked at him and said, "Yeah." And my wife had to look at me and say, "Let it go. We'll talk to her about it later." And that's where, I kind of wish he was still here, because if I'd looked at an adult when my granddaddy was alive and said, "Yeah," I wouldn't have any teeth left. I mean, I don't have many left now, but I would have had a lot less if I'd looked at an adult and said, "Yeah."
See, Remy.
And I've and my kids are really good about it. I mean, it's not very it's not very often that I have to say something to any of my kids about the yes ma'am, no ma'am, yes sir, no sir. They're typically good about it. But it's something that I have to remember that not everybody is taught that these days. And with me working in the school system, I hear "yeah" or "leave me alone" or "it's none of your effing business" quite a bit. And I have to remember that, it's things like that aren't taught now to where they used to be. And going back, back to the paranormal stuff, and Nick, you may be able to enlighten me on this a little bit, but like the other day when I heard my middle child say "yeah" to her daughter's or her boyfriend's grandpa, it felt like my granddaddy was just all over me. Like it felt like his spirit just went all through me, and my blood went to boiling. Something about it, I don't know if it's him or if it's the way I was raised, but every time I hear it, it's like a feeling, it's like his ghost just goes from my head to my toes.
No, Tater, I can tell you what that was. Fear. That was fear. PTSD. Fear.
Because I mean, yeah. I mean, because I'm 37 years old and I still yes ma'am, no ma'am, yes sir, no sir, my parents and my grandparents. And I do it to my wife. She'll be like, "Hey babe, let's do this," and I'll be like, "Yes ma'am."
Look, at the clinic, I have two clients that say, "Do not call me ma'am." And I've told them, I can't. I physically can't.
Yeah,
I cannot call you by your first name. It's yes ma'am, no ma'am. I have to.
And it's not because of work. It's not because you're going to get fired if you don't. It's because of the way you were raised.
Yeah. Like, no. And I've told them over and over, I can't. Like, it's not in me. It's not. I mean, what am I supposed to do? I can't not say it.
So Nick, when it comes to something like that, like what I was talking about, like when I hear, one of my kids look at an elder and say "yeah" or "yes," and I get that feeling of, my granddaddy's not here anymore. Well, my papa is what I called him, is not here anymore. But I get that feeling of, him. It feels like he just enters the top of my head and goes all the way to my toes. Is that is that just me, or is that something that could be, I guess, paranormal, or how would you?
That it could be his way of reminding you, hey, that's not okay. Um, it could also just be you. Um, I guess my
He
next.
keeps freezing up.
I guess
I
my.
don't know if it's me or him.
Am I good now? Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay. I guess my next question would be: did you get a cold feeling when that happened?
I get chills every time it happens. Like, I get what, and Jess, I don't know about you, Nick, but Jess will know what I'm talking about. I get chicken skin every time it happens. I get goosebumps every time it happens. I get goosebumps, and it's almost, I get the goosebumps from the cold chills, but I can also feel my blood about to boil every time they do it.
Yeah, with that, I'm gonna assume that it's just you. Um, because normally, if you had that feeling, like if it was him, you would get an ice cold feeling through your whole body. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna assume that that was probably just the way you were raised, and just hearing that sent shivers down your spine, because that's not okay.
So, Jess, I'm going to move to you now.
Uh-oh.
And I want to ask you some questions.
All right. Got 5 minutes.
In 5 minutes. Oh, Lord, you put me on a time crunch here, there, ma'am.
Yeah, we've been going for a
2
while.
hours.
Yeah, 2 hours and 20, exactly 2 hours.
Oh, Lord, has it been that long?
Yep.
Well, I will save my questions for Jess for the next one then.
Ask
The
me
next one that all right. So, this is Mysteries of the Underworld.
Yes.
And the way it seems, y'all get into a lot of different topics.
Yes.
So, what we all know Nick's expertise in this podcast. He's our ghost hunter go-to. Somebody that I need to bring down here because there's a couple places I need him to investigate.
I want him to come down here and investigate.
I feel that there's a couple places on the farm that he really could get. He could get some good content. And could give us all a bunch of answers. But what is your expertise in Mysteries of the Underworld?
So I enjoy true crime. I know we don't really talk a lot about it. Or I don't. In the past few months, I've been having issues with my ears, and it affects the way I talk. So I try not to do a lot of it. I am getting that fixed. I have an appointment with my ENT in July. I enjoy true crime and paranormal. I enjoy both of them. I like to look up and research different places, people, all that. I mean, ask Nick. I'll be over here
Yep.
typing and reading and looking it up. I mean, right
So-
then.
So you're true crime. So I'm gonna bring up, and I want your honest opinion
Okay.
on this. I'm gonna bring up I will go to say one of the most notorious serial killers in American history, Ted Bundy.
Ooh.
Ted Bundy. He admitted to killing 36 women. It's speculated that that number could be higher.
Mm-hmm.
But what is your thoughts on Mr. Ted Bundy?
I think he had. I mean, he was insane. I mean, I've got him pulled up right here. Everything on him. What would make someone want to go and take so many lives? For what reason? Something is mentally wrong with him.
So do you think that number is higher or lower than what they're saying?
Higher.
Do you think he killed more or less than those 36 women?
More.
More.
More. A lot
Okay.
more. He had to have.
So now that getting your opinion on Ted Bundy, I wanna kind of go into one or two more. Y'all stop me whenever you're ready. I'll stop whenever. So another infamous serial killer is the Zodiac
Ooh, we
Killer.
talked about him not too long ago.
So, for those of you that don't know, the Zodiac Killer haunted Northern California from the late 1960s to the early 70s. He left behind a trail of bodies.
Yeah.
So what? He confessed to 37 murders
Oh no, he killed
in
more.
that time.
He's the one that had.
I know you just said
many
he
names.
killed more.
He had many names. Some that I can't say on YouTube. He had many names. Something was mentally wrong with him. And he had demons that were telling him to do these things. And he ended up liking it. And he kept doing it and kept doing it.
So the letters, which continued from what I'm reading through 1974, are not all believed to have been written by the same person or by the same man. Police suspect there are many.
Copycat.
There may have been several copycats in that particular, case. It was a high-profile case.
When
I
you
mean,
have
the Zodiac killer was one of those that hit, not only a state level, but that was FBI level. It was an FBI level case. But the unknown man who came to be known as the Zodiac killer, who confessed to 37 murders. I
those are
mean,
the ones
how many of those, how many outside that 37 were committed by him and not copycats?
each killer has a unique signature that no one can repeat. That's how they connect all of them. Each killer will take a trophy of the same thing from each person, or something different. They'll take a trophy, whether it be a necklace, license, hair, earring, whatever, underwear, clothes, anything, and they'll keep them. But a copycat will mimic but not get it right. The real one will use one brand of equipment and that brand only. They won't change it, and they'll do it the same way every time. A copycat won't.
So my
They'll
question,
grab whatever they have.
my question to you would be, so a similar California cold case that has been unsolved since 1981. It's the Ketty Cabin murder case. I don't know if anybody's read on it or heard of it.
Not yet.
But it's been unsolved since 1981. It, from what I'm reading and what I can see, it has the exact same MO and signs of the Zodiac. But according to, others, the Zodiac had already been, he was gone at that point. So would that be a copycat, or would that be the Zodiac being like, haha, you didn't catch me?
It could be either. Depending on the evidence, the brand of equipment, how it was done, and was he in the vicinity at that time? So, where was he? It could have been a copycat. If it was him, they would have connected it.
So, my next one is going to be one that's going to, my next one and my last one for Jess is going to be one that everybody should know.
Which one?
And I don't care how old you are, you you've heard about this person and his family. And I will let our host see if they can guess it. But this person and his family are very well known. They have a very well known last name. So do our host have any guess as
Was
to
he
who
the
I'm talking
lawyer?
about? Was he
the
what?
lawyer? A lawyer?
Not that I'm seeing, no.
Okay, then it's not the one I'm thinking of.
Is it Dahmer?
No, it is not Dahmer.
The only
He is probably the second most well known.
Gacy?
Nope. And when I say his name, y'all are gonna instantly recognize
the one I
it.
know is James D. D'Angelo, the Golden State Killer.
But him and his family are very well known in the late '60s.
It's not the Golden State Killer.
Do what?
It's not the Golden State Killer. D'Angelo.
No. The most infamous murder took place in August of his most infamous murders took place in 1969 on the night of August 8th. And so, yeah, I can see you're doing research. Charles Manson and the Manson family.
I knew it.
Like I said, very well-known name. Obviously, Jess knew who I was talking about. So, Charles Manson and the Manson family, like I said, yep, Gold. Most infamous murders took place on August 1969, on the night of August 8th, directed by Charles Manson. Several of his family members invaded a home in the northern hills of Los Angeles. Over the course of the night and into the next morning, they killed 5 people, including director Roman Polanski's wife, Sharon Tate, who was 8.5 months pregnant at the time, and Abigail Folger, heir to the Folger coffee fortune. The next night, Manson family members continued their spree, murdering supermarket executive Leno LeBlanca and his wife Rosemary. So, the Manson family, Charles Manson and his family. I mean, come on, Jess, you really don't get more into it than the Mansons and what they done. I mean,
So he was, convicted.
killing the heir to the Folgers coffee fortune and some of these other big names that are up here. I mean, you don't get much more into it than that.
So, fun fact, he was only convicted of 7 counts of first-degree murder and conspiracy to commit murder. That's what he went in for. 7.
So without doing your research and without looking at your screen, Jess, don't look at your screen. Can anybody tell me when Charles Manson passed away?
Nope.
He passed away in 2017 from a heart attack. In prison. Yep. He passed away in 27. He lived the rest of his life in prison and passed away in 2017 from a heart attack.
Nope. Nope, colon cancer.
So Charles Manson
from colon cancer in 2017.
Oh, see what I'm reading. What I'm reading says a heart attack.
I've got medical records right in front of me.
Yep. You'd have to pull medical records, but either way, both say 2017. So he hasn't been dead for 10 years yet. And other than Jack the Ripper, he's one of the most well-known. The Manson family is one of the most well-known serial killers out there. I mean, everybody knows who Jack the Ripper is. And if you don't, you need to do your research. And that would be, Nick, that would be something in your wheelhouse. Go back to where Jack the Ripper done all his stuff. And do a paranormal paranormal activity or paranormal search in those locations. Just see what you could get, maybe.
So I'm
Or-
looking at crime scene photos.
Or maybe even, you know, the Manson's family house. Go back there and
That would be a fun one.
do a paranormal thing there. I mean, I don't know if that's ever been done. You'd be able to speak on it more than I would.
You want to know the one thing that he did to everyone he killed? He tied a rope that thick around their necks in every photo of every victim. That's his signature.
So I'm gonna share my screen real quick, just so everybody that doesn't know can kind of get an idea what I'm talking about. That is Charles Manson.
Yep.
And that is on the day he was arrested for what he done. That way everybody can get an idea of who I'm talking about. And if you don't know him, you should.
I would love to pull files on this.
Just your husband is sending me messages now.
Yeah, I know.
Now I can see his big ass head in the background back there. So,
You want to see
Oh. do what?
what he looked like. When he died. This right here is him. He died at 83. That's him. When he died. It's him. He died at... Sorry. Wrong button. But yeah, it's definitely one I want to listen to the tape, to the interviews, the interrogation. You can hear what's going on inside their heads when they talk. But alright guys, I think that's where we're gonna end it. Tater, thank you for coming out. Nick, it's been a great night.
Yes, it is.
I'm Jess.
I'm Nick.
I beat the tater.
Thank y'all for coming out and watching Mysteries of the Underworld. We'll see y'all next time.
See ya.
Later.
Static breaks with a chilling sound. A voice from 6 feet underground. Was it murder? Was it fate? Either way, it's far too late. Welcome to the whispers. Welcome to the screams where nightmares live.